Hi, and welcome to the August 17th edition of the weekly Search Buzz video recap. My name is Barry Schwartz, and I'm reporting news from the Search Engine Roundtable. Google has exceeded the 70% market share according to Hitwise. Just a quick tidbit, they are completely dominating. We covered a thread over Webmaster World about penalties and if it scares people, and does the discussion around penalties and Google penalizing you or other people penalizing you, like Yahoo, does that scare you? And I posted a poll, tomorrow posted a poll on August 14th at the Search Engine Roundtable. Definitely want people to participate. We have 73 votes, and it's about 50-50 right now. Some people say yes, Google penalties do scare, search penalties do scare me, and half the other people say no, they don't scare me at all. So if you have time, on the August 14th edition at seroundtable.com, go over there and definitely go ahead and participate in the actual poll. A couple of weeks ago, we reported that Google was potentially blocking web position gold and other ranking softwares out there. It wasn't necessarily blocking them, it was more that Google changed their HTML on their search results page, which kind of stumped the ranking out programs from crawling it properly and scraping the content and ranking the reports. So they're obviously working on fixing their scrapers to better handle that. But in the meantime, we had a lot of going back and forth. One topic was over should you use ranking reports? Is that really necessity of SEO? Is that really something that's adding value to your clients? Another controversy was really started by Scott over at Web Position Gold, saying, basically, why shouldn't we be able to scrape Google's content over net neutrality and all these other different types of things out there? In any event, we do have comments from Google. This obviously these are not new comments. Google has always disliked scrapers going through their search results and doing automated queries on their search results, which actually slows down other people from searching and requires a lot more bandwidth than is necessary. They want to make the best experience for their users, obviously. So Matt Cutts went ahead and commented over at us, and also commented over at Webmaster World, saying, I wouldn't be surprised if our bot detection continued to get better over time for many types of software that scrape Google. We prefer to use the server capacity for real users, not for someone who wants to check how they rank for tons of queries going down hundreds of pages. So obviously that's their standard. They have definitely, John Muller over at Google also commented, stating the Google's terms of service, how they don't like scrapers, they don't want people to use it, etc., etc. I totally understand. I hate when people scrape my content. It obviously hurts the server. It obviously requires more bandwidth. Obviously, it's the cost of doing business, but at the same time, there must be other ways to get at that data. Google has been personalizing results for their search results for a really, really long time. Over, I think, August 11th, Google has finally told people that the results are personalized. So now if you do a search in Google and you're logged in, Google, or even if it's geo-based, Google will actually say these results are personalized based on your location or based on your web history. There's actually a link at the top right that shows more details to how you manage that, and it gives people a clear guide as to how and why their results might be different than the person next to them. Earlier this week, I reported that Feedburner's ad network is no longer accepting new publishers into the space. That means they pretty much seems like they're closing down their ad network over time. Obviously, Google bought them, and Google wants publishers to move into the AdSense for Feeds program as opposed to using the Feedburner ad network. The Feedburner ad network used to be very, very profitable, used to be very, very lucrative, but over the past few months, it has been dropping down. The income has been much lower than it used to be. I feel that means that that means that Feedburner / Google is not actively seeking new advertisers and possibly going to completely discontinue the whole entire program, which means less income for publishers like myself and publishers like you. Later on, we reported that Google has actually opened up their AdSense for Feeds as of Friday or Thursday night to all publishers. So now if you go to log into AdSense, and if you're a publisher, you'll be able to see an AdSense for Feeds icon and a way to set up your AdSense for Feeds in the actual setup of ads. Google has launched this back actually in May 2005 as a beta test. We were one of the first to participate, but the ad income wasn't so great. I really hope Feedburner doesn't drop their ad network completely. I hope they continue to add advertisers, but honestly, I think it's just a matter of time until it's completely dropped. Google announced that they actually now have a way for you to better share your Google Reader data with friends. So before, all your Gmail contacts were able to see your shared feed items in Google Reader. Now you can actually be more flexible. You can actually define who and which contacts are able to actually see your shared items as opposed to everybody seeing your shared items. So that's a nice feature. Obviously, there's a lot of privacy concerns and a lot of problems with that when they first launched it about, I think, in December, November of last year, and now 8 months later, it's now a feature that we have. Here are 3 bugs that Google has fixed. One, with Webmaster Tools. They had a 404 reporting error where they were reporting a lot more 404 pages than were actual 404 pages. It took them about, I don't know, I think a few weeks to actually fix this bug, and now it's fixed as of August 13th. It's now fixed, so you should no longer see 404 pages being reported as 404 when they're actually not 404, meaning not found. Also, sitemap related as Webmaster Tools related as well. A lot of people using Blogger specifically were noticing that their sitemaps and their crawl data was not being updated, meaning Google wasn't crawling their site, meaning Google wasn't crawling their sitemap file. So that has also been addressed, and that was fixed on the 14th of August. Also, we reported on August 13th that Google was not bolding all the search results for keyword matches. So if you did a search for blog, any of the Google search results that said the word blog or blogging or related blog things would actually bold in Google. So Google search results will bold those keywords, so it shows you where that matches for your keyword phrase. Anyway, Google has just commented on August 15th on Friday at about noontime. A guy named Paul Har, who was actually in the XMX Bowl, who works at Google, commented saying they basically fixed that now. It was something that they had a bug in, and they fixed it. Thanks for reporting it. Matt Cutts confirmed it was a guy from Google. Paul has been working at Google. He actually works just in the office next to Matt's. So they go back for a while, and I appreciate Google fixing that. On August 11th, which was Monday. So Monday evening, Google had a major email outage with Gmail. It was down for over an hour, where Gmail wasn't accessible either via the web-based system. Some IMAP users were having problems, some POP users were having problems, some mobile users were having problems, and it was totally inaccessible. People were going crazy about it. The amount of discussion, blog coverage, the amount of Twitters, it was just outrageous. Google has actually made a formal apology saying, "We're sorry, we know how important Gmail is to you, and we'll work on the error." They really never really said exactly what the issue was, but they said they'll work on making sure it's fixed in the future. So that was a major thing to talk about, and it affected a lot of people, a lot of productivity, and revenue probably were impacted by this. A while back, I wrote a little article about the most dependable awards. Basically, a company called Goldline Research were calling people, specifically SEOs and also web design firms, saying, we found you, and we think you should be part of our selection process in the most dependable SEO company, most dependable web design company in the East Coast, in the West Coast, or wherever it might be. So they've been calling these companies, and there was a catch to it. When I spoke with them about the most dependable East Coast web design company, they told me, after asking them, that there was a fee involved if you were selected, a $3,500 fee if you were selected. But there was a lot of controversy over it. Not everybody was told there's a fee. eVisibility was actually participating in this without knowing. They were not told that there was a fee. Then, to their surprise, afterwards they got a bill for $5,500 from Goldline Research. Bottom line is, I'm not saying if this is a scam or not. They were clear with me. They told me exactly how much everything will cost. But you should be aware that there is a cost involved in these types of awards, and a lot of these companies do charge a fee. So be careful. So the big Search Engine Strategy San Jose show is coming up this Monday, tomorrow, and I personally won't be there tomorrow. Probably won't be there, but we do have coverage. We do have a lot of people participating and covering the conference. We have Kerry from Mortgage Designs. We have Shira and Avi Walensky from Pro Media. We have Caroline Shelby, Seashell. We have Chris Boggs from Brulent, and we have Dave Rohr, who are all covering this for us. And I appreciate that. We'll have live blogging coverage of the whole event. And for those who can't make it, like myself. Alright, so thank you for listening to the August 17th weekly Search Buzz video recap. My name is Barry Schwartz, and if you want, make sure to check out SERoundtable.com for the latest breaking news, and make sure to see our live coverage of SES San Jose this week. Everyone have a great weekend, and we will speak to you next week.